All right, let me. I just saw. Listen, I'm just curious about this. I saw this whole thing where YouTube or something is going to start IDing people somehow. I'm just gonna watch this Moist Critical video. Let's just take a look at it.
Lock your doors and hide under your bed all you want. It won't protect you from a menace on the loose.
Dude, I just obtained the ability to hide under my bed. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like, I used to just like have my mattress like on up the floor, basically, with like a little under mattress thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And I just actually got I just got a nice high one, so it's pretty cool.
A maniac at large that not even SpongeBob could catch.
Oh, shit.
Mass surveillance, control, and censorship. It's now at our doorstep here. A place many have called home. YouTube. They've just announced they're rolling out AI in the US to detect if users are actually under 18.
Damn. What a shame, man. You know, I mean, like, I wonder why. I don't know. Maybe this is part of, like, the well-intentioned protect your kids bullshit. You know what I mean? I kind of get it for porn. You know, because that probably has done irreversible damage on my psyche as a young man. So I could get that. But it just, why YouTube? Like, what's going on YouTube? Is naked yoga, which is real, by the way, is that much of an issue?
Ignoring whatever the account's stated age is, and will apply restrictions to users
shit.
it suspects are teens.
Damn.
And if it suspects that you are not over 18, it will restrict what you have access to, and the only way to overturn that is by providing identification.
I saw something where people were using, like, Gary's mod to bypass the identification. I thought it was so funny.
Sounds awfully familiar. Does that ring any bells to anyone out there, you know, with what's going on over in the UK at the moment? I would certainly hope so.
Well, I mean, it sounds like to me if they feel like they have to implement it in the UK, they might as well just do it across the board because it'll be easier. I guess that's their logic. But I think that with enough backlash, they'll probably stop. Hopefully. I mean, it seems really like a stupid move.
Doesn't. Go give your doctor a huge pat on the ass and tell him that the lobotomy was very successful because you have lost all fucking brain function. It's now U.S. citizens' turn to have the piss sucked from their balls here and all privacy
I knew that's where it was stored.
Completely thrown in the shitter. So, if YouTube's AI tools think that you're under 18, I hope you're ready to fork over your ID in order to continue to access certain YouTube content. And
I wonder, like, what if this is going to have a negative impact on like creators? Because I wonder if there's going to be false like positives that a creator is underage and it's going to fuck their money for a while. You know, which is going to like hurt confidence for creators. I wonder how that's going to play out.
Features. When YouTube determines a user is teen or preteen, the site will disable personalized advertising, activate digital well-being features, and put stricter content filters as well as behavioral restrictions into place. Basically,
what is a behavioral restriction? Does it stop you from being able to make comments or something? Oh, it probably stops you from being able to comment, or it doesn't let your comments get seen. Because I think that there's a thing when videos are for kids, it doesn't let your comments get seen. So I would not doubt that they're trying to stop like kids from potentially commenting. It's just so strange. I guess it doesn't really matter because my videos aren't 18 plus, but it's still so fucking like weird.
YouTube will pop its titty into your mouth and breastfeed you here because your parents aren't fucking raising you. What a joyful, pleasant future where these...
Well, I mean, as a society, fundamentally, it's good for everybody to participate, you know, in helpfulness. I just don't think that this is necessarily... I don't know if this is worth the, I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe we're just all overreacting. I don't know. It's like it's scary change.
Greasy, greedy, ghoulish corporations are now going to be LARPing as your parental figures, deciding what you can and cannot access.
Well, so just to be clear, because I don't really particularly care for this principle, but I will say, like, I don't think that this is like corporation. Well, okay, maybe it is corporate greed in a different sense. Like, this is a restriction that's probably gonna hurt their bottom dollar. Because if you're also underage, you're probably going to get less advertisements as well, which is not going to be good for YouTube, obviously. But at the same time, I guess they would be restricted, or the bottom dollar would be, if this is something that they're supposed to be implementing in the UK already, they're probably just being lazy and be like, okay, instead of making two separate systems, let's just integrate everything because it's easier for us. So maybe that is where like they're just trying to like maximize their money. But overall, this, I don't know, it just seems like... I guess that's why they're probably doing it, because they don't care about anything. It's fucking YouTube. Their company.
Based on their estimation of your age. because no longer are parents even expected to be parents anymore. The internet is now that. My papa.
I feel like that's like a weird thing to say because there's so much going on. Like, listen, here's the thing is like I think this is stupid, but at the same time, I grew up like looking at porn when I was like 12 and 13 years old because the internet was unrestricted, and it's like, you know, sometimes parents can use a little bit of help. That's why we have certain laws in general, you know. Like there are laws where you're supposed to yield to school buses and stop behind them, or you get a ticket, or you're supposed to do this or that. And you know, we have laws for a reason to help raise our kids. You know, it takes a community in many instances. And so like the idea of like, oh well, parents just need to do better. I agree, but at the same time, I don't necessarily expect, especially older parents, to be like, oh, it's so insanely educated on everything. Like parents could use some help here. I think it's okay to be like, yeah, you know what, the parents could use a little bit of help. So to just brush it all off of like, oh, just let kids do whatever, you know, because that's the implication is like kids should be able to do whatever they want, I guess. But I think it's okay as a society that we say like, oh, let's make some laws to try to help parents out to make their kids a little bit safer, right?
Is a fucking YouTube algorithm. It tells me what I can watch, what I'm allowed to consume. It's so fucking infuriating. The only thing here that makes any level of sense is like disabling personalized ads for kids, which is something I'm pretty sure the YouTube Kids app already does, which again, I don't even know.
Well, yeah, but this is under the idea that it's kids faking the system, right? So
why that app exists anymore with this effect, with this change going into effect. It's now just a redundancy if they're going to polymorph the main YouTube platform into basically catering to kids on it as well. It's fucking lunacy. It is not YouTube's responsibility to put the bumpers up in the bowling lane. The onus should be on the parents to ensure that their kids are not consuming harmful content on YouTube.
Yeah, but like, how do you do that? And again, I'm not saying I agree with the way they're going about it, but like, how do you do that? So like, you're a parent, you make an account for your kid, they figure out how to log out, and they make a new account for themselves. Like, we're not talking about 4-year-olds. We're talking about 13, 14, 15-year-olds that are going to be educated enough to know how to make a new fucking email and link it to their Google account. So like, I don't make a bunch of Google accounts. I don't know how the restriction works. Maybe you could do that on your phone. You could restrict them from making new Google accounts, but I feel like you probably can't. So like, how do you stop that? Maybe I guess maybe the phone would, or the YouTube account would need a password to log out. Maybe. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know, let's think about it. Like, it's easy to fake your age on the internet, you know?
It is crazy that YouTube is doing this. So they're using crazy. AI, which will assess a user's age via multiple behavioral factors, including what kind of videos the user searches for, the categories of videos they watch, and how long the account has been active per...
I like that comment. Nux Taku is about to lose 70% of his audience. It's so funny.
Blog post, which is very vague and also going to lead to so many accounts getting flagged as being under 18 that definitely are not.
Well, I think a better question is like, why is it under 18? Or rather, is there going to be a sliding scale? Because like, I think a 17-year-old can look at the content that's a little bit more mature than a fucking 12-year-old, right? Like, I don't know about naked yoga, although if I was 17 or 12, I'd be wanting to jack off to that. But like, you know, obviously it's a sliding scale of maturity. Like a 17-year-old could probably engage in something that's like has like maybe some more violence to it or something, depending on what they're restricting exactly. Because I'm assuming it's not just going to be like sexual content or potentially sexual content. I don't know.
There are so many people in the Pokemon community, for example, that are adults. In fact, pretty much everybody that does Pokemon content online is like late 20s and early 30s at this point. That is
weird. I'm just kidding.
It's like entirely an adult market, but it is.
Well, so I understand what you're saying because it's Pokemon, but then on the off, like I imagine the idea would be to like track trends. So like theoretically, they would already be able to track the trend of like older people engaging in that. Like it's AI. It's not going to be specific or like it's not going to be a specific thing. They're not going to specifically. They're not going to specifically go like, okay, we're going to make anything Pokemon track as this. They're not going to do that. They're just going to it's just going to parse whatever other metrics that it wants to parse. It's going to parse like internet metrics. That's how like the AI works. You know, like that's why like literally it's like when you say like, oh, I'm hungry for McDonald's, and then you get a McDonald's ad on your Instagram the second after you say that. It's going to do shit like that. It knows that like it's going to know that there's going to be a lot of people that engage with specifically probably Pokemon cards, if that's the case, that are more adult. It's not going to be as primitive I don't think, as people think in general.
A child's IP. Like, it is an IP that is catering towards kids. So pretty much anyone that searches for like Pokemon cards, Pokemon Showdown, really anything even adjacent to that, or like Nintendo games, like any gamers that play Nintendo games, all of those will be like a strike against them.
Probably not.
That could
honestly probably not. Like, that's probably unrealistic to say that.
end with their account.
It could happen. I mean, it depends on how advanced the AI is, but it could happen. But it's probably not going to happen.
Being deemed like under 18 or something. It's going to be absolute chaos, I imagine. This
Taylor Lorenz hates this for all the wrong reasons. Why? What are her reasons?
Technology will allow us to infer a user's
like a Twitter post
age and then use that signal, regardless of the birthday in the account, to deliver our age-appropriate product experiences and protections.
Interesting. How do you appeal it? Is my question. Like, how are you going to appeal it? Because what's going to end up happening, and I would imagine, is it's going to there are going to be aspects of it that are going to suck at first, and what they're going to do, is they're basically going to say like, okay, this sucks right now, but as people start to appeal, we'll be able to update our like the trends that are like seen on, that's going to be one of those like trial and error. So like the first month is going to be brutal. Maybe the first 2 weeks is going to be like brutal. I would hope that they would like be ready to invest like more money into this at the start. I'd hope that they would like more people reviewing this content and reviewing appeals, so that appeals get taken care of much quicker, because you're about to see like a massive influx.
If the AI estimation is incorrect, YouTube says it will allow a user to verify their age with a credit card, a government ID, or a selfie. Wow, what saints. You get
the selfie thing's funny because that's like fakeable, though.
The privilege of providing your identification or your biometric data to YouTube in order to prove that you are actually over 18. Surely that's going to be like really secure, and it's not going to be used for any kind of like tracking or anything like that. Don't be ridiculous. Fucking tinfoil condom conspiracy.
Well, what tracking do you think it's going to be used for? Maybe. I don't know if, they're already tracking you. Like you're already tracked. I don't know what additional tracking you'd be able to do. You put your credit card in there? Well, I already have YouTube Premium, so like, yeah, my credit card's in there. So what additional tracking metrics are we referring to? That's like, what other thing are we referring to?
Theorist, there's nothing wrong with forking over all of your identification and your credit card information to corporations or the government directly, so that way they can actively monitor you and censor you and basically control what you have access to.
I just feel like this is just a weird argument. You give all of your information up already. What additional thing do you feel like is going to happen because of this? I'm not saying I agree with the thing. I'm just saying, like, we already kind of are doing this. We're already getting tracked. Like all this information, like you're probably putting in already. So I don't understand.
What's the big deal? It's so
like we carry around smartphones that we're all pretty much legitimately addicted to, and it's so normal that we don't consider it that much. We don't consider it like that. And you're like, oh man, they're gonna be able to track us now. Got news for you, boss.
Absurd, man. I cannot believe how quickly this is getting out of control. Like I told you, it was not exclusive to just the UK. It is already touched down here, and it hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week. That snowball has already become a full fucking shitstorm avalanche. It is...
Maybe he's assuming people use VPNs. I guess, maybe.
Terrible. It's scary. It's
very... I think it's probably... it's probably just like his conspiracy. I don't know if it's necessarily grounded in reality, all of it, but I don't think I think he's just kind of saying that because he's like, maybe this could happen. It's already happening. We don't have to worry about it.
Very scary. This article also mentions something else. The rollout of the new feature comes one day after Australia's government announced it would ban children under 16 from using YouTube, and less than a week after UK implemented the sweeping age checks on content on social media networks. YouTube was promised an exemption from Australia's social media ban last year by the then communications minister, but the Australian government said on Monday that the platform would in fact be included in the country's ban on children under 16 using social networks. The ban is slated to take effect in December. Google, YouTube's parent company, strenuously advocated against the Australian ban and has threatened to sue to overturn it. That subject they mentioned there about the Australian government banning kids from making social media accounts is a topic that I briefly touched on like a year ago.
Well, it's all part of the, well-meaning kind of metric to... This is the thing. When it comes to these social media bans for children, it's all part of like a well-meaning protocol. to try to protect kids on the internet. The problem is that like you need to let kids do quote unquote dangerous things productively. Like you need to let your kid learn to swing on a swing set or play on a jungle gym. They might get hurt, so watch them and try to curate the experience. But you still need to do that because they're preparing them for the real world. And so, like, yeah, your kid needs to go onto the internet. That's the way of the future. They need to learn Instagram and TikTok and social media and how to function a phone, like use a phone, just fundamentally speaking, to access technology and to understand different ways. Because if they don't learn as kids, they're not going to learn as adults. So or excuse me, they're going to have to learn as adults, and then they're going to be just more fucked. You don't want to have an under-matured child. And so it's like, what do you do? I don't think the answer to that is, hey, let's ban children. I don't think the answer is like, hey, let us ban children. Would I hand my kids cigarettes? I don't think that the internet is cigarettes. So, but what? I don't. I mean, I'm gonna let my teenage kids probably drink alcohol. Honestly, like I come from a little more of a regressive time. I'll probably be like, I'll let you drink a beer as long as it's at a I'm curating the experience. Yeah. So like, it's one of those things where you don't want to push too far in one direction, honestly. Because it could be a little dangerous, in my honest opinion.
But in a nutshell, this is something I've said a lot. The entire landscape of social media has changed so much over the last decade, drastically, where I do think it is downright dangerous and detrimental for kids to just have unlimited access to things like Twitter, for example.
It's social media, it's an addiction. That's true. The problem is, because I understand what you're saying, the difference is, though, is that social media is, to some degree, a necessary addiction. Whether you like it or not, social media is eating food, right? Because you can be addicted to eating food. Why do you think fat people exist? Because they're addicted to eating food, right? So when we say like, oh, well, it's an addiction, it can be an addiction, but you have to teach a healthy relationship with it, because not having access to social media is going to completely neuter you from the ability to probably get a decent job moving forward, especially as the landscape shifts so drastically and different technologies become so prevalent. Not understanding how to like use the basic functions of a phone or check your email or use social media is going to put you at a disadvantage in society. And so like, there's nothing, you're never going to need cigarettes ever. To be able to get to work a decent job, you are going to need to know how to use a phone. It sounds crazy, but like it's not. It's very normal. You're going to need to know how to use a phone and function and utilize it and be able to do things. So there's a difference. You have to teach people how to engage with these things productively. You can't just be like, oh, let's just take them away from people, because then they're going to be fucked for the rest of their life. They're not going to be able to function correctly. So there's a difference between, hey, cigarettes. There's a difference between cigarettes and social media. Drastic
Example. So like I
no, it's not. All right.
Do think
now you're just being fucking stupid.
This
is 16 and under. So like when you're not 10-year-old. Okay, cool. We're talking about 16 and under here. Thank you for your input.
It's not exactly a good thing to just have kids making social media accounts and just fucking rotting away on them. I do think that is harmful, but there is no...
That's something that's really going to be up to like the parents. That's something that they can really control, is like how much their kids are going to use social media. There's really, I don't know how else, like society could like, I mean, you can't really put a limit on how much kids can use social media as a government, but parents definitely can. Incredible.
A way of actually stopping that in a way that doesn't step on everyone's freedoms. And at the time, it just didn't even really dawn on me, because the way it was being spoken about was just like, oh, don't worry, the methods we're coming up with are, we're making sure privacy is still top of mind. We don't want to encroach on that. We're just trying to think of ways to, help kids not get like sucked into social media degeneracy and all of that. And it, like when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, I guess that like makes sense. But when you really stop to think about it and you stop and like really fucking smell it, it's very clear that there's no way of doing that without just stripping freedoms from everybody else. Like, how the fuck are you possibly going to stop that from happening? And it also shouldn't be the government's responsibility nor the platform's responsibility to ensure that kids aren't making those accounts. It is the parents. Like, no matter how...
I suppose. Like, the argument that, you can only do so much is... I can generally agree with that. but it's kind of tough. Like, it's very easy for kids to make fucking Finstagrams and fake accounts.
How you spin it, it should always come back to the parents. And what YouTube did initially, and what I thought was the right direction, was having a separate platform specifically for that age group, YouTube Kids. So
Yeah, but like, how do you? First of all, I don't know if 17-year-olds should only have access to YouTube Kids. That's fucking preposterous. Second of all, that's like, yeah, the conversation now is like, how do you prevent people from faking it, right? And if your argument's just like you don't, I'm like, okay, that's honestly fine. I don't really think we need to either, but I can agree. I can understand, like, hey, like maybe help parents with keeping their kids safe. Fundamentally, I can appreciate the effort.
So that way, that group, those kids, would not be going to main YouTube. They would be on that platform, which is safe for them. And the parents' responsibility would be ensuring that they are on YouTube Kids, not main YouTube.
So it's so silly because we're talking about like under 18. Like, I don't think that 17-year-olds should be locked into YouTube Kids. I think 17-year-olds can have access. I think probably 13-year-olds can have access to pretty much anything on regular YouTube. Like, what's on regular YouTube that's not age-restricted content? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Who encompasses YouTube Kids? I wonder if he like says that specifically, because right now we're talking about pretty much anyone 18 or under 18. So,
but now what's happening is every company is now putting in these age verification checks, which require ID or biometric data, which, as we're seeing.
Sure. I mean, like, honestly, even if they implement this, I wonder how long it'll last, you know? I wonder if it would even last, like, very long, or it might just be one of those things where it's like, okay, this is, like, very burdensome, and we're losing money. Because YouTube's going to lose money very quickly, I think, from something like this if they implement it poorly, and I don't think that there's a way to not implement it poorly. So it's going to be one of those things where, like, yep, YouTube's fucked for a month. And they're like, we're rolling back our this, that, and the other thing.
Unfold in real time rapidly leads to just basically control and mass surveillance. That's the entire underlying motive behind all of it. It's not about protecting.
All right, relax. This is what I'm talking about, dude. Chill the fuck out. It's not about. I really don't think it's a. Why is Charlie so conspiracy brained? This is. I'm not trying to be a fucking dude. I'm not trying to be a dick. This is so conspiracy brained. Holy fuck. Hold on.
Kids. It's not about making sure kids aren't getting access to like dangerous social.
Dude, this is, dude, I hate to say this. This is what, and like, I know this is so immature, this take. This is such an immature take. This is what happens when you get really popular at a really young age. When did this motherfucker, like, this guy got like really popular like in 2010, 15 years ago when he was like young. This is what happens when you get rich, is the age you stop maturing. I'm not trying to be that guy, but like this, we have this weird conspiracy concept that like nobody means well for kids, I guess. Like, no, I think that this is a well-meaning bad idea. This is a well-meaning bad idea. This is not like government's conspiracy to get your information. Like, they have it. Okay, they have your information. The government, I don't know if you guys know this. Do you guys know where you get identifications from? The government. So when you're sitting here and you're like, guys, the government's trying to control you by getting your ID. Oh, fuck. It's really weird because I got my ID from the government. That's so fucking weird. It's almost like I was born and given a social security number so the government can track my existence forever. So they got it. They got my ID. They know what I look like. But it's like, dude, what are you talking about? I think it's overly restrictive because there's a big movement, especially from aging people in Congress who are like hypersensitive and hyper afraid of the internet, and they're trying to implement shit. It's more about the companies doing the verification. I guess. I just think that this is a bit conspiratorial.
Social media, content or anything like that. It is all about getting more of your information so they can monitor you more effectively.
Who's they? Who's he talking about?
About protecting kids. It's not about making sure kids aren't getting access to like dangerous social media, content or anything like that. It is all about getting more of your information so they can monitor you more effectively. It's not a conspiracy. It is just right in your face censorship, control, and mass surveillance.
Damn, I wonder where we're gonna be in a year with Charlie. I wonder where we're gonna be in a year with Charlie. I wonder where he's gonna be. I wonder, I just wonder. I don't know. This is it just feels a little fucking over sensationalized. I don't know, man. We'll see what we got here, guys.
And YouTube now taking this step is extremely concerning.
It's extremely what I find so funny about this concept that this is extremely concerning is like, I don't know, like I guess not everybody has given YouTube their fucking information yet. Like I have YouTube Premium, so they have my credit card. So like I don't care. Like this isn't. I wouldn't have to do any additional verification. They have my credit card. Every company has like my credit card that I pay for. It's like, oh fuck, they're gonna make you verify with your ID or just your credit card. Well, that was a weird sound. Whoa, I've never done that before. Guess what? Dunkin' Donuts. American runs conspiracies on Dunkin'. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I don't know.
And obviously, as everyone's pointing
Sorry, guys. I actually pay for my YouTube Premium with cash.
out, it is not going to be 100% accurate. I would be shocked if it's even close to 50% accurate. Break this shit down to its...
It'd probably be like 70, 80% accurate. Probably higher than that. But that was like 10%, 10 to 20% is going to be so inconvenient.
Our butt cheeks real quick. If it's going to be like making these guesses off of like the content you're watching or your searches, there is so much wiggle room for error. Because like, let's say you...
Is that really all you think that they're going to do? Like, not for nothing. Do you know what? I don't know if you guys know who owns YouTube. It's called Google. Look at this guy. He's running a circle. I don't know if you guys know this. YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is a email thing. Guess what they're going to look at? Your emails. They're going to look at the trends of your emails. They're gonna look at your information. They're gonna look at your emails. Guys, they're gonna look at your emails. Which is true. They're gonna look like they're unironically going to look at your emails. They're gonna look at your fucking emails. That's how they're gonna get this information. Just to be clear. So it's not just gonna be some like it's like he's under I don't know if he knows quite the extent of what information they're going to look at. But they're not just going to look at a couple of silly things. They're going to look at your emails. They're going to look at whatever trends are attached to those emails. They're going to look at any other account attached to those emails. They're going to look at everything. It's going to be a lot more. It's going to be different, like the your commenting trends and patterns. Just if you're fucking obviously your literal credit card. Like if you're attached, they're just going to look at a lot of shit.
Watch an anime, trailer or something. I imagine YouTube would probably put that into like...
Why do you need to... no, he's right. Why do you need to provide so much evidence for your identity? So my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that this entire thing was orchestrated because like the UK is making you identify yourself before like to access social media. Am I incorrect about that? Yes. So this is a government mandate. So this is the one thing. This is a government mandate from the UK. And what they're saying is you have to start creating age verification methods for certain websites. So YouTube is already having to deal with this in another country, or I guess set of countries, right? And so now they're saying, all right, fuck it. No, it's not just adult content. It's adult content platforms, social media platforms, other services with potentially harmful content. There's a ton of different things. So this is the problem. So the government in the UK is implementing this. YouTube has to implement this on their website for the UK. What they're basically doing is saying, fuck it, we might as well just make this across across everything because it's probably easier for their infrastructure and can prevent people from going around it with VPNs. So this idea that like the YouTube wants to implement this service to control you more is just conspiratorial and ridiculous. This is very clearly, to me, a well-meaning but stupid idea from the government to try to protect kids online. And we've somehow orchestrated a conspiracy theory out of this, or at least Moist Critical has, that they're going to get your information. They have it. The government has my information. I got my ID from the government. Okay. I don't know if you knew that. So I think that we're going like, we're getting a little too outraged here. What's harmful? You have to question that all. I don't know what the fuck that question means, so I'm not going to answer it. Yeah, maybe kids should stop watching Charlie because they're getting really wild out. Because this is like, let's be real, this is like low energy. What is it called? Like fucking Criminal Minds shit. Like when like all the girls watch like murderers, like murder theories, and they get like, oh my god, oh my fucking god. Oh, when you engage with content that constantly proposes conspiracy theories to you, when there's a much more logical and normal like answer to the question, you're getting like hyped up. So like unironically, I don't mean to be like rude. Charlie's fine, but his content, at least represented in this video, is definitely anxiety-inducing insanity. Like, it's anxiety-inducing insanity. That's what this is. You're a kid and you stumble on this video. Oh fuck! I'm a victim. I'm fucked. They're trying to get my info. The government. They're trying to get my info. The government's trying to get control of my identification. One of the policies here is that YouTube is going to restrict the targeted advertisements towards all the people. Just to be clear, right? Do you think that YouTube wants to limit targeted advertisements? Do you know how much money that they make from targeted advertisements, more effective advertisements that you're more likely to click on? They probably make a lot more money than non-targeted advertisements that don't try to get into your psychology. So, like, the problem here is that YouTube is at a net loss with these implementations. They're going to make less money. So this isn't something YouTube wants to implement. This is something that the government's implementing, and YouTube thinks it's just a better idea to say fuck it across the board. That's it. This isn't something YouTube wants to implement. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous.
A cartoon bin, which would then be falling under like a under 18 bin, which would be a strike against you. What if you like misspell something in the searches? Like, what if you accidentally make a typo? Does that make them think that you might be a kid as well?
Okay.
Or what about something like autoplay? Like, let's say you put on like a real adult video. You look at fucking day trading tutorials, but it autoplays to something else, which is like making slime or some shit, because YouTube's recommended algorithm is fucking wild. Like, you could easily just be flagged as an under 18 account, and then, well, if you want to keep using your account and have access to all the content and features that you've been used to, gonna need to fork over that ID, or at least show us your face. Give us some of that sweet biometric data.
Or give them your credit card information, sure.
Currency.
This is just so weird. I haven't seen Charlie's content in like a year, and he's unhinged. Unironically, this is what happens when you have no intention of having kids. Holy fuck. I'm so confusing. What happened to this guy? He's fucking mentally deteriorated over time. Holy fuck.
Please.
What happened to him?
You'll say no. That is not something you should ever be comfortable with giving any company.
I'm so confused. Hold on. I don't know. This is so strange.
It is a big problem, and there needs to be something done about this. It is truly out of control now. And
this is the energy that people are coming at the Sydney Sweeney article with. They're so fucking unhinged. You gotta stop it. Fuck, we're fucked.
It's here coming to YouTube.
Okay.
So, yep. Just another concerning act of censorship and surveillance here. And it's not just
dude, I wonder why Charlie's having this take. I wonder if it's just because he's used to like slam dunk content, and like now his audience is demanding conspiracy content, so he's just like audience captured. Or did he just go into like this most like fucking unhinged direction, like actually feeling like everything's a conspiracy theory? Like, how mentally unwell is this person? This is fucking insane. Holy fuck. This is actually just preposterous shit. This is so sensationalized beyond like a reasonable doubt. People are so fucking unhealthy, like mentally. This is literally unhealthy mentally. It's not unhealthy to consider some of the negatives. It's unhealthy to assume the worst and to think that like this is a government or control tactic or something. It's just fucking insane, dude. Is he a Florida man? Maybe that's what it is. Holy fuck.
Overseas anymore. That's really about it. See ya.
Okay. Well, that was interesting. I guess. That was fucking something else.